Hello, how are you this evening, or this afternoon? It's amazing. Thank you for having us.
We're Kelly and Josh from Dragonfly Earth Medicine, and we came all the way from Canada, British Columbia, as well as the west coast of the United States. And we've been cultivators. I'm also a natural doctor as well as a midwife. Josh is a natural builder, and we have been living this life in cannabis for over 30 years. So not only have we been treating patients, children all the way to elderly people and end of life with cannabis, but we have also been treating gardens and plants and doing consultations all over the world for people to have healthier gardens as well as big grows.
And we have seen everything because we started an organic nutrient company in 2007, and we started also a regenerative certification with farms all over the world in 2014. And we've seen the rise and the fall of businesses and families and farms and patients. And we're here to share a story of cultivation to the patient, totally organic and totally natural.
And now we know that natural soil and natural cycles produce the best medicine on the planet. And with the opening up of European cannabis, the pharmaceutical companies as well as pharmacists in Germany are going to be the ones that are going to be leading a lot of the purchasing and buying of cannabis. So we want to talk about the soil because we know that these people are going to start figuring out that the best medicine comes from giving the plant the best possible natural cycle. And so we really wanted to talk about soil and the understanding of soils, that if we take an entire handful of soil, and a healthy, beautiful handful of soil from a forest that's totally untouched, and then we compare it to a very healthy person, we realize that this microbiology is not only similar, it's exact. And when we have this understanding of microbiology, that it is identical to our own body, then we can start realizing that the plant also has a microbiome, which it is able to uptake much healthier nutrients from a soil system because this is its natural system.
And we believe the true teaching and blessing that cannabis has for us is amplified with natural growing. Diversity is the most healing thing that we have for our bodies, and the entourage effect is the combination of cannabinoids, terpenes, thiols, esters, and we believe that starts in the soil.
So our own internal microbiology system as well as the endophytic system of the plant actually is identical. And what we're recognizing is that the pharmaceutical use of drugs, of a lot of additives in foods, of things that are unhealthy for us, kill our microbiome in the same way that big agriculture with this nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK program is harming our soil in the same exact way as pharmaceuticals and additives are harming our own microbiology. And so what we were recognizing now, which is incredibly important, is that we have to bring the plant into its natural systems in the same way that we need to bring humans into its natural system. We understand that we can cleanse the body, we can also cleanse the soil. We were driving in the train all the way across Czechia, and we noticed a tremendous amount of big ag and a tremendous amount of bad fertilizers that are really harming the land in this area. And in North America, what we have been given in the cannabis industry is testing. And with this stringent testing, we're realizing now that not only is there a tremendous amount of harmful chemicals on cannabis, but there's also a tremendous amount of harmful chemicals on our food. And now we have an understanding of how are we going to remediate ourselves, how are we going to remediate the soil. We also can do this indoors.
And having diversity in your gardens, such as this picture right here, is the way that you can naturally balance your environment from pests, from soil-borne funguses like Fusarium, even hemp latent virus. Biology is your best answer, and diversity helps the biology.
So we wanted to take the rest of the time today to help you all, and we can do some ideas on how we're going to achieve this multiculture, as well as how we are going to achieve good soil, healthy plants. And with those healthy plants, then that means that people who are stepping into the industry, people who are growing their own medicine, which it seems like you all are going to be allowed to do that, as well as a lot of this area in Europe, we wanted to go through some of the steps that you can either do in your backyard or you can do with smaller grows that you all will be allowed to be able to do soon.
We know not everyone can grow like this, but hugelkultur and laying sticks and carbon and rocks on your straight grass and then making mounds with all your different wood chips, sawdust, layers, grasses, natural soils, and compost from different areas, and then you cover it and then plant it, and you have an incredible rhizosphere filled with everything the plant needs.
And this is a system that you do not have to dig into the ground. It all is built on top of the ground. Very simple. And this picture is in 1 year that you just saw. This growth is in 1 year, and this garden produced about 500 kilos of squash.
And this is an example of doing it in a greenhouse and replenishing it every year and having mulch. And we don't believe in bare dirt. We think that dirt is kind of like just exposure and the sun is hitting it and then killing the microbiology, so we want to cover the earth, and then we can dig out the aisles and fold it on top and make like a sandwich, and then just plant the seed, and it all just fuses over the year and keeps the water retention really nice in the beds. And we use different composts.
Yeah, and I think the really important point about this is this is all called closed loop farming, and it means that you're utilizing the resources around you. The reason why you're using the resources around you is, number one, it's inexpensive. Number two, when your flowers or your cannabis is being tested, you know all of the ingredients that are going into it. What was happening is many of the large farmers on the West Coast were growing thousands of pounds of cannabis. It would go in for testing, and they would be failing because of the organic nutrients that they were buying from the store.
So this is cannabis compost. We try and get forest soil, different inoculants. Once you have a really big mulch layer, then you can inoculate mushrooms like garden giants, King Stropharia. They're the most aggressive composters that are easy to use in the garden, and they interact with the soil, breaking it down, and they breathe carbon dioxide, the opposite of plants. They're like humans. They breathe in oxygen, out carbon dioxide in the plant, so it's symbiotic and it's good for the soil.
And they're delicious.
Heterotrophic.
Exactly, and gourmet mushrooms, super easy to grow.
Those mushrooms are edible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, I don't know those. They are not in Czech Republic.
They're delicious.
No, it's a garden giant, King Stropharia. It's often you can purchase this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you can see here, this is the mycelial network. And when you bring wood chips into your indoor gardens or your outdoor gardens, you're actually bringing a much higher intelligent source that is going to be able to keep your plants, your soil, all healthy.
And we call this biological intelligence. And when you build these systems, they're often high carbon. So in some cases, you can make your own teas. So we're going to walk people through how to make your own fermented teas. And all these techniques are what we call closed loop gardening. Closed loop gardening, gardening from the land, using herbs, everything around you.
And what's really interesting is when you're doing nature closed loop farming, you're looking at a bunch of nettles here. I know that you all have many nettles in here in Czech. And the beautiful thing about cycle farming is that your garden will be needing the same nutrients that are coming up at that exact time in nature.
The healthiest way to grow cannabis is from seed. And when you grow from seed and you grow with regular seeds, you have male and female. We recommend growing with regular seeds and not feminized, because then you're breeding male and female, and then you can take out all the males, and those males become nutrients for the females, and females often like that.
And when we are using these plants, just remember you can even use grass clippings. You can use anything in your yard or in your area as long as you chop it up. And Josh is going to bring us through how to make a tea and then ferment it.
So this is a unique way that we make tea. We have two tanks, one side for fermented, open fermented, chopped material from the land. So it gets chopped, put in the open fermenter with inoculating soil and compost, and then we let it sit for about 7 days. So it's like steeping a tea and letting it ooze out all of its plant plasma, and then you activate it with oxygen for 24 hours and feed it into your garden.
So 7 days anaerobic, and after 1 day.
Yep. Anaerobic, and then 1 day with air. And then you're ready to plant your plants into the soil that you prepared. You've got your teas ready, and you can help the whole transition of the plant into full growth.
And when we are using big ag fertilizers, there's a real possibility of not only can you kill your soil, but you can burn your plants. You will never burn or add too much nutrients with a system like this. And this picture is showing some potatoes. I know that there's chickweed in the garden. The idea is that we have this thought pattern that weeds are bad, but now we're growing weeds to create ferments and nutrients for your entire garden. So weeds can now be seen not only as a friend, but a very basic nutrient for your entire system. And right here you're seeing basil as well as some other cilantro. And it's really important you can plant lemongrass or any kind of plants that have a lot of odor, a lot of smell to it, because these are plants that are high in terpenes. So when you are putting rich terpene plants into your teas, we do believe that this system is going to increase the terpene content in your plants. And this isn't just a good idea. We actually have many case studies now from Northern California in comparison of clones that have been put in the ground in a system like this, in comparison with a soilless system, or maybe just a dead, flat farm area, and we're recognizing higher cannabinoids, higher terpenes, higher esters, higher thiols with these plants that are in natural systems. So we are allowing the plant its ultimate potential medicine outflow.
And in some cases, you get explosive growth, out of the plants. And this isn't just one plant, on our farm.
That's a huge leaf.
And
we
it's
have
not
many
just
like
one.
this.
It's all the plants. And this leaf has 14 leaves on it. It just starts stacking up on itself.
I was just adding that I saw plenty of leaves in my life, but not maybe as big as the first one. Not sure about it. So good job.
Thank you so much.
We call this system the ancient future of cannabis.
We have an opportunity to grow outdoors and embody the whole system. So we show that system for people. But it can be done indoors.
And a lot of scientists and people who grow in more synthetic systems would look at something like this and ask, is it clean? Is it sterile? And we would like to challenge people's minds to understand what clean really is. We believe that clean is when all of the microbiology is positive, when all of the microbiology is healthy, when you do not have unhealthy microbiology. We believe that's a much cleaner system than a sterile system. And so we do a lot of consultations with very large indoor facilities. And then the next question would be for a scientist, do these flowers as an end product pass all of our very strict regulations? And the answer is absolutely yes. It can pass microbials and it can pass all other tests. And so what we're seeing here in this picture is just this greenhouse is still just going into flower. And what you are also seeing is some packets there. And this is using natural predators for a lot of the pathogen and pests that are in our gardens. And we ask again, do these natural predators pass tests in the end? And the answer is absolutely yes. And we've also seen in a lot of tests is that the plants and the gardens that have licenses who have decided that they're going to cover their crops with a greenhouse, plastic, they're able to do either light dep as well as when the fall rains come, it's protective. It doesn't mean that it's an indoor system, it's just meaning that it's protecting your plants. And we are definitely seeing much higher rates of cannabinoids as well as terpene profiles when you're just able to simply cover the plants. And what you're looking at here in this video is it's called a wali pini, and that word comes from Bolivia, which means dug-in house. And many, many farmers who are licensed as well as people who own really large facilities are learning that digging into the ground is going to create a more balanced humidity, temperature, and also be able to give you a much longer cycle for your plants. So these dug-in greenhouses for long term are growing phenomenal plants.
So you were saying they prolong the cycles, and as well
it will definitely prolong the cycle up to 2 weeks on our farm, and other people have said that it can give you an extra 2 weeks in the beginning and an extra 2 weeks in the end without even any problem. Other people in other areas, it's up to a month on each side, so you can run 2 cycles for some. And this is Earth's intelligence.
And the heat rises, so there's peppers and hot-loving plants up in the right here where you can see in the upper part of the greenhouse, and then down below is the more cooler plants like the cannabis, and then some of the greens and tomatoes. And then we start thinking about pollinating our plants, and we have pests getting eaten by local rove beetles and all the different kinds of
It's okay. So what's happening here is that we just want to make sure that we're looking into the future for our genetics. The very best gardeners, the very best people in the industry right now have not only kept their brand, but they've also kept their genetics. So making sure that you are capturing your genetics for your area, that means that this is a highly valued product. This is a highly valued and only 1 in a million. Only your garden will have that particular type of flower that will be that cannabinoid terpene profile. And so we've really just gone through today a few of the ways that you can build really beautiful gardens with not a lot of money. We absolutely suggest that not investing very much. One of the greatest downfalls that a lot of farmers have that are no longer in business now is when the licensing came up at the beginning, they invested a tremendous amount of money and they are no longer in business. So the least amount of money that you can put into it is going to last you probably a longer time. And we also encourage you all to please reach out to us on Instagram. We're at Dragonfly Earth Medicine, as well as we have over 300 educators and over 100 farms that are DEM Pure certified, which was a certification that we started over 12 years ago that is all over the world, so we can all share ideas. And this is also another incredible positive. The more people that you align with that are like-minded within your community really allows you to have a much more successful garden and business for the future. And now the DEM Pure certification, we feel, has most of the leading educators, scientists, cultivators, hash makers, and also product makers in the world.
Our certification, the Pure
it's
certification.
It's called DEM Pure, DEM, Dragonfly Earth Medicine Pure, and you can find us online. Thank you so much. Thank you so much today for coming here today. We really appreciate everybody's time. It's been an incredible honor to be here at KONOPEX, and Pavel and the whole entire crew here. Thank you so much.